Hi there, magical peeps on Facebook. It's Pauline here. I'm out walking my dog, Honeybee. Who would have believed it 2 months ago that I would have a dog? Who would have believed it that I would have travelled almost around the world on a trip to the Philippines and back? And who would have believed that we would now be in the middle of the beginning of a pandemic that is going to change our world forever? And although it is the power of the unknown, and that can be scary, indeed, we don't need to think of it as that if we are thinking about the fact that it impacts everybody in the whole world. This is actually extraordinary. I've always had this expression about going forward, going onwards and upwards, and that's my glass half full, my positive attitude, my ability to smile at the world, even if there have been challenging moments in my life, and I'm sure that we've all had challenging moments in our lives. So now is one of the biggest challenges that we have in the whole world. I live in Las Vegas, as many of you know. My family are in the UK. Whoops, my dog has just met some other dogs. Hey! It's a dog's world. So, you know, my concern is for my family being miles away and not being able to get there. And likewise, they worry about me. But I think, in talking to my daughter this morning, we have actually that simpatico, that compassion for the whole world in crisis. Now, as many of you might know, the meaning of the Chinese symbol for crisis is danger and opportunity. So we face the danger, and obviously there may be fear in that, but we take the risk to step outside of our normal existence and actually lock down and be inside, as I am now with my husband Jim. Now I know I'm sitting outside at the moment, but this is my walkway, and there's nobody here apart from the odd dog walker, which is well far away, more than 10 yards. So we're basically held up here, and we're looking at the world in a very different way, and we're very positive. We have a wonderful family here in Las Vegas, Jim's family, and they're keeping an eye on our food supplies, and we're really looking at how we can embrace the universe outside of our small apartment and how we can be online with all of you. And I know that's the direction we're going to be. And we hope and pray that the internet services and the Wi-Fi can cope with all of us being online. But the fascinating thing about social distancing is that it will maybe, and surely, and I hope and pray, and we do, that it brings us closer. And it helps us to understand that my mission has been, how do we create our future together? And that's our mission, Jim and myself and Lisa and Philip and everybody who I'm working with across the globe, that we want the power of togetherness to be the empowerment of a future where we gain more clarity and sense of collaboration, and we do the right things as opposed to just doing things right. Ask the difficult questions, now is the time. See the world in a different way. Have compassion and be safe in what we're doing now, for sure. But let's think about the future. Before this all happened, towards the end of last year and beginning of this year, I was running group circles, magical conversation circles, where the topic was create our future together, create our future now. And it was about imagining what the future could be if we didn't have any conditions of the present and the past, that we could actually use a magic wand and be whatever we wanted to be. And isn't that amazing that now the world has shifted to a place where people in government, people in authority, whole areas are locking down, are coming together, are looking at how do we do things differently. And we can't go back to the old ways. There's no going back as far as we're concerned. This is about thinking forward and taking the best of what we have and we've experienced and our expertise, but making sure that we embrace everybody. You look at what's happening in the law of unintended consequences. The Venice canals are so clean that the dolphins and swans are coming back. The pollution is rising, is disappearing over many parts of the globe. Now, of course, we have economic unrest, but maybe banks and governments will actually get together and help us all, because that's what we want. All of us decent human beings, we want to be out there doing the best we can, doing work that we're passionate, serving each other in a way that serves the whole community. That was where business started many centuries ago, when tradesmen got together and said, well, I can do this best, I can shoe the horses, you can make the food, the other person could maybe whittle the wood. Everybody came to the circle with their own trades. Now we've got so sophisticated, maybe we've forgotten what it is we do naturally and what we do best. So what I'm suggesting is that we set about these conversations, so as well as protecting ourselves, being safe, especially if you're with underlying health conditions or you're of an age, but being concerned all ages. This virus can hit anybody, and whether you can get it and survive, that's great, but if you're going to get it and be contagious, and somebody like myself or my husband or older people fall ill and die, then we have to do this together. We have to be very careful together. But thinking ahead, let's be motivated to plan a future that actually is different. Make some systemic changes. I think that's what governments are going to have to do. But we can do it at the ground level, at the entrepreneurial level. So we run magical conversation circles. I have a new map of how relationships can work, men and women, at home, at work, in the classroom, online. That's what we can offer to you. We also have a University of Entrepreneurology, which actually is aimed to give credentials, life credentials in an experiential PhD for those of you entrepreneurs and high-level executives who have deemed a magnificent life. You've already done everything that you could possibly do. You don't need to become an academic in order to have that credential. This is something that we've had for over 45 years, and we are now pushing that out into the market again. We have an academy in Malaysia. We have interest in the Philippines, in the US, in the UK. And this is based on, as I say, history, set up in 1972 originally. If you want to know more about that, then let me know. And Corporate Art International, myself, Jim, Lisa, and Philip, we are aimed to be the consultancy that enables you as a leader to lead a sustainable, healthy existence and inspire all of your people to do the same. So all of those things will come to me. But what I'm really excited about today, and I really will share this with you over the next few days, is that my original, I'm going to call it a masterpiece, that I wrote in 2008 about a story of how all the different gender dynamic types on my map need to come together in order to serve the world in chaos. Well, the chaos has now come. The crisis is here. This is a book of its time, and I'm going to be getting it out into the market for you, because I want you to engage in how the book ends. I'm setting the scene. How would it be now, real life, dealing with the pandemic, dealing with social distancing, dealing with whatever it is we need to deal with magical conversations. Those are conversations without judgment, without getting angry and selfish and mean, but being caring and collaborative. And these are conversations without being too coercive or controlling in what the outcome will be. Let us discover it together. That's what a magical conversation is. I've been running magical conversations for circles for many years, and there's my dear friend Masita, who I was doing magical conversations in Malaysia. Magical conversations, as I say, are without judgment, without anger, and without coercion. These are creative spaces, the third space between us all, in which we can design our future. So hashtag create our future now, hashtag create our future together, hashtag magical conversations, hashtag the power of the unknown, hashtag the power of sharing. What's your hashtag today? Let me know. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now. Have a magical day, evening, whatever it is you're experiencing now. and be blessed and safe with regards to the virus.